Greetings to our Pilgrim Church family and to any visitors that may be tuning in. Danny here on behalf of the shepherds at Pilgrim Church of Christ with our dose for Tuesday, August the 18th. I had originally planned something else for my topic and presentation, but then I was reading an email from one of our church members regarding one of our ministries at Pilgrim. And it was so encouraging that I thought I would use this as my topic instead and pass along this good news to the rest of our church family. You know, back in the early 80s, there was a young Canadian singer who had several popular songs, several hit songs on the country charts. And in 1983, one song in particular that I always enjoyed was called A Little Good News. And in that song, Anne Murray sang 3 different times at the end of the chorus, 3 different times. We sure could use a little good news today. And with all the things that are happening in our world, with all the things that are happening with our church family, that can be construed as being discouraging, can be taxing to our demeanor, hopefully not to our faith, but anyway, with that in mind, I thought that I would pass along this report regarding one of our ministries and let that be some good news for others to enjoy. This particular report involves our Venezuela ministry, where you know that Steve and Jane Watson, and Christian and Angelica Yolvera, and several others have been working almost tirelessly. And the way God has blessed that ministry is just unbelievable almost. And I think that'll come through as I read this report. It's a rather lengthy, but I think it'll be well worth the time. This is the report for the month of August. We have had an amazing few months at Pilgrim Church of Christ for our Venezuela ministry. Even with the difficulties facing both the U.S. and Venezuela, God has done marvelous things, which is just His way. January's 22 boxes and February's 31 boxes. Shipments began in such a normal way. Delivery came through even though we were hearing of gasoline shortages for both our shipping company and the distributors there in Venezuela. Our March shipment, 38 boxes, went out early, and then the virus hit us like everywhere else. All of a sudden, we could not get vital supplies because shelves were getting empty, and our purchases were limited to 2 or 3 items at a time. We also realized we couldn't meet to pack and wrap the boxes anyway. We thought our people in Venezuela would get the March boxes sometime in April, but what would we do about the next few months? Our sweet friends would still need to eat, so we just sent money. It's a little tricky to do that. We have to find a trusted resource here who has a bank account there, plus a trusted resource there who will be a conduit for our money to get to the right people. Angelica is so good at planning this kind of route, and she came through for us. We got some lovely pictures of Zara buying at the market just before it closed down due to COVID-19, and delivering eggs and pan or cornmeal to many families there. Hopefully you'll get to see the compelling video of her meeting 2 little boys who were rummaging in a trash bin. She pulled them aside, gave them some clothes, gave them a bag of food, and told them that God had sent her to meet them. By June, we were able to get supplies again, so we began our shipment process. We shipped 45 boxes, and at the same time, Continent of Great Cities, a church planning ministry, asked us to help them get supplies to several churches in Venezuela. They had been going to Cucuta in Colombia, buying food there and distributing it to the churches. The border between Colombia and Venezuela was closed due to the virus and heightened tensions between the 2 countries, and travel to Colombia from the U.S. was denied, again due to the virus. We packed 30 extra boxes for the group. Our youth group did most of the double bagging of 150 pounds each of rice, lentils, black beans, flour, sugar, whole milk powder, oats, and 50 pounds of popcorn. There was so much more: spaghetti, peanut butter, jam, coffee, tea, canned meat, bouillon, canned vegetables, plus some much needed Tootsie Rolls. It's hard to realize how much food can fit into a medium-sized Lowe's heavy-duty box, and without our excellent packers, Angelica and Terry, they wouldn't be quite as heavy. By the way, Steve bought a pallet of boxes at cost thanks to Lowe's. July marked our first time to send 2 shipments in a month, totaling 69 boxes, 30 boxes for Continent of Great Cities and 39 to our own group. Wrapping these boxes for shipment is a task only for strong men. The boxes weigh at least 120 pounds. However, I'm sure some weigh more because they are certainly hard to budge. We count on some dedicated people to help, including our grandchildren. Luke, Carter, and Merrick are dependable, along with the girls who help, Victoria and Emma, while Maya, Margaret, and even Sydney love to pack as well. Other young people have been so helpful. Emma's friend, Sutton, made some swivel platforms for us. Levi came with his dad. Tim and Marks brought Joshua and Beth. Scott and Cameron have also helped. David has been a real help for bagging, packing, and anything we need. An extra benefit to this is an amazing discipling ministry for so many young people who are learning how to serve those who are in need. Venezuela continues to have gasoline shortages. One of our distributors, Job, sent a great video of him delivering food on his bicycle. We decided to send 2 bicycles to Angelica's sister. My friend Jeannie donated bicycle baskets, and we packed all of that up for our July shipment. Christian had to create some unusual boxes, but since he's an engineer, he got it done. We received a special donation of clothes from the Brentwood Hills and Otter Creek churches, which were left over from a consignment sale. We were able to pack many items of clothing around the bicycles, saving an extra cost of shipping. We have boxed all the rest up, so we have 20 boxes ready to be shipped for the next few months. They make a stunning display in our church auditorium, thanks to the Pilgrim Church's generous use of every available space. In August, Continent of Great Cities still needed help, so Bonnie, Barbara, Joyce, Terry, and Angelica bagged, packed, wrapped, and shipped 31 extra boxes again. Thankfully, the Brentwood Hills Church team is hoping to take over this task. They are beginning a food drive soon, and their goal is to have enough food donated so that they only have to pay for shipping. Several from there came to watch our packing and wrapping process, and we are thrilled for the much-needed help in this ministry. While all our usual business was going on, we applied for our 5013C status and were accepted to begin work with Kingsway Medical Charities. As you know, we supply 6 hospitals with basic wound care items, formula, and diapers, mostly purchased locally or donated. We were requested by one of our doctors for more medical supplies and prescription medicines unavailable there. He sent a detailed list of needs. Christian translated it, and then Kay, a nurse who has traveled many times to Liberia and run many medical clinics, consolidated and substituted items on Christian's list for those that were more readily available. Kay and Cindy worked for hours on our first order, which ended up to be 1,000 pounds of medical supplies. We spent $1,600. That may seem like a lot. However, when we got the equivalent from Kingsway Medical Charities, the value of our order was $70,600. $70,600. Well, we are just bowled over. We will be shipping the August boxes on the 31st. We hope to have the medical supplies as part of this new shipment. We are so thrilled to be able to help even more than we have in the past, and we just wanted you all to know that what a grand thing God is doing to this little group of people in this little church in this little community in Tennessee. We could not begin to do this without your help, so we don't take your part for granted, and we want to thank you in such a heartfelt, personal way. When we receive knowledge of your generous gifts, we tear up and praise our God for his goodness to put Steve and me in this place at this time. It is just awesome. Love, Jane Watson. I hope that little report cheers your heart like it cheers mine. Several parts in there, as I was reading through, put me in mind of some of the reports that were brought back from early missionary journeys in the book of Acts. And we talked about how God had worked through them, and God had opened doors, and God had answered prayer, and that everyone need not actually participate in a ministry to be part of a ministry. We've been saying that for years with a lot of our foreign ministries. But I hope that that encouraged you. It certainly encouraged me. I hope that you and your family are all doing well. I pray that these challenging times that we are walking through are not challenging our faith to the point of our possibly losing our faith. We can always depend on God. God has promised He will always be there if we will remain faithful to Him, and I firmly believe that. But take care. Take care of yourself. Take care of your families. Stay in the Word. Stay in prayer. Stay in contact with God. And if there's anything that we as shepherds can do for you, please don't hesitate to call or let us know. Love you all, and take care until next week.